guys, I'm Hannah Nordman for Hot Roster Now. We're at that weird time of the NHL season again. Much like a teenager in its awkward stage of life, half the league is down and out, only able to play spoiler for someone else, and the other half is busy solidifying playoff ranks and fine-tuning their game. So when it comes to Hot Roster from here on out, matchups reign supreme. Today I'm picking from the penalty shot card, and we're starting in Boston. Jamie Benn and David Pastrnak meet on my card and on the ice tonight, and really, their headshots sum up how their seasons went pretty well. Benn's Stars have suffered a fall from grace. After a first-place finish in the dreaded Central Division last season with 109 points, they found themselves with subpar goaltending and a team that just didn't click. Benn's numbers have been well below what he's put up the past 3 seasons, and he has just 4 points in his last 9 games. David Pastrnak is quietly becoming one of the most effective wingers in the NHL. In his 3rd NHL season, he's more than doubled his career point total playing on the second line. The Bruins are still fighting for their playoff lives and have extra incentive to fill the net against a Stars team that's gearing up for the golf season, so Pastrnak is my go-to guy tonight. Next, we have Brandon Saad, who's in Carolina tonight, up against Henrik Zetterberg in Tampa. Saad's had one of his most effective seasons, just 3 points shy of his career-high 53. But the third liner's point totals have been slow as of late, with just 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 12 games. Meanwhile, Henrik Zetterberg is mentally preparing himself for a year without playoff hockey. For the first time in his 14-year career, the Detroit Red Wings will not be playing spring hockey. In fact, I've never been alive for a Red Wings team out of the playoffs. But he's had a solid year, already 13 points ahead of last year's full season totals. He's got 8 points in his last 8 games and 5 multi-point games in the month of March. So despite a lost regular season, I don't think these guys know what quitting down the stretch even looks like. I'm going with Zetterberg. Next up, we've got a Norris Trophy matchup with Brent Burns as a half-point favorite over Erik Karlsson. Burns is having a special season. He leads the NHL in shots with 298, which actually pales in comparison to last year Brent Burns, who had a ridiculous 353. His 73 points are 5 ahead of the next highest scoring D-man, and he's got points in 3 straight. But before that, he went through an uncharacteristic 7-game pointless streak, so it does seem like the Oilers have a chance at keeping him off the score sheet. The next highest scoring D-man I was talking about, that's Erik Karlsson. The 2-time Norris winner's having quite the season himself. His scoring has slowed slightly in March with 8 points in 14 games, but the guy gets pucks to the net almost as much as Burns, with 54 shots steered on goal in that span. But they're up against a stingy Wild team looking for some stability heading into the playoffs. For that reason, and the fact that I'm not one to pick against a beard as well-groomed as Burns's, I'm going with Brent. Finally, Hot Roster wants to know whether Nikita Kucherov will have greater or less than 4.5 fantasy points. The young Russian is having a ridiculous season. He's 6th in the league with 80 points and 2nd with 38 goals behind only Sidney Crosby. He's also within the top 20 for shots on goal with 233. He has 11 points in his last 5 games, 6 of those being goals and 2 of those being on the power play. This guy's unstoppable right now. I've got to take the over. So that's my card. Disagree with me? Think you can do better? Let me know. And don't forget, we've got NBA, EPL, and of course, NHL cards up on Hot Roster for you to play right now. And for those of you who don't know what Hot Roster is, check it out. Go to HotRoster.com, download the app, and give it a try. It's like no other fantasy game you've ever played. And then for help winning the game, check out Hot Roster today with Cam Stewart and Gary and Thorne every weekday at 4:30 Eastern on the Fantasy Sports Network and 6:30 Eastern on Game TV. For Hot Roster Now, I'm Hannah Nordman.